Hey guys, this is Wrestling News episode. In this, I'm gonna talk about several wrestling news, including the return of John Cena to WWE, and also the spoiler for the main event of Elimination Chamber, and also the spoilers regarding NXT Takeover Portland match. So let's first start with the return of John Cena. So John Cena is scheduled to return at Boston, Massachusetts, which is his old hometown, on 28th of February. So this is after a long time John Cena is returning to WWE, and also he is going to be a part of the new Fast and Furious franchise. That is, he is in the Fast and Furious 9 and is in a main role of villain in it. So it is still don't know why he is coming. He may come because of the promotion of the movie, or he could come back for a program for WrestleMania. So there are really no details on why John Cena is coming. Could be any reason, but he has said that he is willing to work for WWE if WWE provides him a good idea and a performer to work with. So last year John Cena was about to work with Lars Sullivan, until Lars Sullivan of course fucked his career up by throwing tweets for Stephanie and other racial slurs, and obviously Lars Sullivan flew home before Raw and he was supposed to have an angle with John Cena, so that fucked up all of Lars Sullivan's chances. But Cena could possibly be returning to WrestleMania 36 because it is in his hometown of Tampa, Florida, where he currently lives in. So he could possibly be back, and also he could engage in a program with Velveteen Dream, who he has already talked a lot about, and John Cena wants to work with Velveteen Dream. Next up is the news regarding Vince McMahon giving up on a certain superstar. So Vince McMahon has given up on a superstar, that is Raw superstar. Vince McMahon has completely given up on Cedric Alexander. So Cedric Alexander has not been on the Raw tapings for quite some time. He has been in handful tapings. So he was on last week's Raw where he was squashed by Angel Garza, and Cedric has been appearing on the main event tapings consistently, where he will lose some matches or win some matches against No Way Jose and some other people. So people are saying that Vince McMahon has completely given up on Cedric Alexander. It is said that Cedric Alexander doesn't have a heat on him, but Vince McMahon just doesn't see him as a big star, which is worse, because Vince McMahon, when he sees nothing in you, will probably put you in the mid card or a jobber position, which will take some time to come out of. So it is said that Paul Heyman was pretty high on Cedric Alexander, but Vince McMahon sees not much in him. So Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter said that they've got no plans for Cedric. He is a talented guy, but his number is just not being called. Also, a source in WWE told us that Vince McMahon doesn't have any heat with Cedric. He just doesn't see a big star in him. So his statement was that Vince will listen to Paul on some ideas, but other times he can be close-minded and sees nothing in Cedric. Vince gave up on him a long time ago, which is a very bad thing. And for Paul, he is considering Paul Heyman. So Cedric might be in trouble now. The next news is that The Rock's daughter, that is Simone Johnson, is now a part of the WWE family. So she has signed a contract with the WWE Performance Center because she wanted to test if she could work in wrestling, and then she signed the contract with it. So The Rock, that is Dwayne Johnson, posted it on his Instagram, and he said that dreams ain't just for dreamers. Congrats to my number one born, Simone Johnson, on officially signing her wrestling contract with WWE at WWE NXT, and on her way to becoming the first ever fourth generation WWE athlete. Carry our family name proudly, but your road will always be yours to create, earn and own. So proud, live your dream, let's work. Hashtag humble hungry. Hashtag hardest worker in the room. Hashtag fourth generation. So yes, this is also to be noted because The Rock is obviously a big name, and his daughter is now a part of WWE Performance Center, who is the fourth generation superstar. So let's see if she could perform like Charlotte did, or she'll just be another Curtis Axel. Also, Roman Reigns has proposed to have a match with Rock at Mania 37 in St. Louis, where The Rock currently lives. So another news is, and this is regarding NXT Takeover. So it is a spoiler for NXT Takeover Portland. So Charlotte will be at NXT Takeover Portland because she seems to be currently in program with Rhea Ripley, who she is about to face at WrestleMania 36. So Charlotte versus Rhea is still not announced, but it will probably be announced sometime next week. So PWI Insider is reporting that Charlotte will be at the Takeover Portland to watched the women's championship match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. So there are no exact reasons why Charlotte is at NXT TakeOver Portland. Could be backstage reasons, but the most probably she is going to be in the crowd where they will show her, and she will be watching the Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match, and will probably challenge Rhea Ripley for the title at Mania 36. Or it could turn into a triple threat match where Charlotte could interfere with the match between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, which could lead up to a triple threat match between three of the most athletically built women in WWE, that is Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, of course. So Rhea Ripley was on this week's Raw where she faced Sarah Logan and beat her, and Charlotte just watched the match and continued to bitch around for most of the time. So the updated card of NXT TakeOver Portland is Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship. Tag Team Championship will include Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, who are the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winner. We will get Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, and of course we will get a street fight between Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. Next up is the news regarding the Gauntlet match, which will be taking place at Saudi Arabia, that is for the WWE Super Showdown. So the Gauntlet match is now called Tuvac Trophy Gauntlet match, which will include the performers, that is R-Truth versus AJ Styles versus Andrade versus Rusev versus Lashley versus Rowan. So this was announced by WWE on Twitter, and they posted about it, and it was just an annual thing for the Saudi show to announce some sort of prize, which doesn't mean anything. That is, they announced the 50-man battle royal, 50 man of the greatest Royal Rumble, where Braun Strowman won a worthless belt, and then they did a best in the world tournament where Shane McMahon won, so that didn't mean shit too, and now they are doing this. So let's see who wins. Probably AJ or Eric Rowan will win this match. So there were things that Dave Meltzer said about Rusev, who was not on this week's Raw, and Dave Meltzer said that there is some sort of contract obligations for Rusev, and now he was in some kind of a conflict with WWE, but it has been said since then that Rusev has solved all his problems with WWE and is now free to have his contract. And Rusev himself said that he was on this week's Raw of Ontario, California, backstage, of course. So now the updated card of Super Showdown is the WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet, the Universal Championship match between Bray Wyatt and Goldberg, the Tag Team Championship match between New Day versus John Morrison and The Miz, the Steel Cage match between Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, and now this match between R-Truth, AJ, Andrade, Rusev, Lashley and Eric Rowan, which is the Tuvac Trophy Gauntlet match. Also, the last news is regarding the Elimination Chamber main event. So this is a spoiler. So there was a commercial which ran in Philadelphia, and the commercial was regarding the main event of Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which was the Elimination Chamber match, that is men's Elimination Chamber match, which was Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus King Corbin versus Robert Roode. So here's the tweet which revealed this stuff on Twitter. So this tweet revealed that this is the commercial that showed the main event of Elimination Chamber. So the winner of this match will face Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, of course, if Bray Wyatt beat Goldberg at Super Showdown. So Roman Reigns is the biggest possibility of winning the Elimination Chamber because Braun is already the IC champion. Daniel Bryan just already had a program with Bray Wyatt. King Corbin, I don't think he will win. Robert Roode, of course, is a jobber. Shinsuke is kind of a jobber too. So Roman Reigns will probably win the second Elimination Chamber of his career and will face Bray Wyatt or Goldberg at WrestleMania. So Elimination Chamber pay-per-view will take place at the Fargo Center in Philadelphia. So let's see what happens. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment in the comment section below. Thank you and have a cheerful day, which is